I just figured like for him to present, me to present, and then for us to do our a working agreement that we'd probably need.
Right.
Okay, I'm here.
Taylor, would you like to go next or shall I go?
Doesn't matter.
I'll go then. I'll share my screen. Mm. Ga nu wel starten dus. Well, my yeah, my dad was talking through it. So my introduction. Well, my name is Jonas van der Meulen. I also live in Zwolle, same town as Luca. I've lived there my whole life. Yeah, this is my town. Some of the pictures you just seen, I think. In the top right corner is my house. I moved there when I was 3 years old, 4 years old, something like that. And there in the top left corner, you can see Zwolle, the city center. It's actually a Hansestad, which means that it was in the old days a part of a big traders community that went all through Germany as well, and it goes all over the IJssel, which is like the river that goes right past Zwolle. And yeah, we have a beautiful city center with all kinds of shops and restaurants there. Zwolle is located on the left picture. You can see Zwolle is located right there in Overijssel, which is the province we live in. Yeah, it's the like the, what do you call that? I don't remember the word for it.
Main city, main
Yeah,
best city in the whole
Like a capital.
province.
yeah, the capital of our province. Yes, yeah, yeah. I live right there on the right picture at the arrow, which is all the way right under. And you can you see my mouse or?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
see those.
That is where our school is located, and Luca lives here in Assedorp, which is like a neighborhood. Yeah, I've went to primary school in Zwolle Zuid, Zwolle South, the IJssel, and then I went to high school where Thorbecke Scholengemeenschap, which is Thorbecke was a big politician in the Netherlands, which our school was named. So, oh my god, my school was named after. And that is where I met Luca in the first year. So we've been friends for quite a while now. And then we went to university, which isn't really a university. In our country, I think you call it a university, but it's actually a high school. Yeah, hogeschool, high school, literally translated, but it's one level below university, and we're in the second year. This is my family. The lady with the gray hair is my mom. The girl in the front is my sister, and my brother is right behind her. They are twins. They're both 16. And then there's me and my dad. Yeah, that's my family. Well, international experience. I've been all over Europe, which is really easy for us because we can just drive everywhere. We don't have to take planes, and yeah, so that's pretty nice. And that's Luca. Oh yeah, the left picture is of me and Luca in Spain. We funny story. We just saw each other there. Yeah, we ran into each other, and we were together for a few weeks, which was very cool. And on the right picture is Luca and me in New York. I went there for a few days, and Luca went for 2 weeks with his mom, and we met up. So that was really cool. I really love New York, great city. That's the only time I've been in the US. Well, hobbies and sport. I also liked playing soccer. I'm also a big PAC Zwolle fan, which is the football soccer club in Zwolle. I like to watch Netflix, like music, and yeah. So yeah, that's me. Oh, verpleegkunde, which translates to nursing. I chose nursing because I went to Windesheim. That like a presentation about how what it was like there, and I really liked it. And other options didn't really appeal to me, so that's why I chose verpleegkunde. And I also love yeah, caring for people, and yeah, so that's why I chose verpleegkunde. That was my presentation. Thank you for listening.
I'm wondering if your homes, so like here, your home is like a standalone building.
Yeah,
Or is it kind of what you would call a condo where it's like one big building and then you kind of are like in an apartment, but you own it?
yeah, it's like we call it a rijtjeshuis, which is just translates to row homes, which yeah, the really standalone homes are pretty expensive here, and it's, yeah, almost everyone lives in those kind of homes in every city. And yeah, maybe in southern parts it's more of the Netherlands, it's more like standalone homes, or farms. They're also always standalone, but yeah, we're a pretty small country with a lot of people, which means that yeah, land is pretty expensive around here. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Any more questions?
yeah, I was just wondering, like, I grew up on a farm, which I'll
Yeah.
get that, but like, do you know like your neighbors a lot then, since like you live? Like, I don't go to the city. Like, you guys are all like, it's pretty small, 124,000. I grew up with like 900 people in my whole town. And so,
Yeah, yeah, it's not that small. It's a pretty big city, but yeah, when we think of America, we think of really large cities like Chicago and New York and Boston and all those, and California, and yeah, that's not a city, a state, but yeah, those are pretty big cities. So compared to Zwolle, it's pretty small, but probably compared to a lot of towns in America, they're pretty big, I would think. So yeah, it's one of the bigger cities actually in the Netherlands. Yeah.
I'll go next.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's under slide.
and like, I'm trying to present it, but
Yeah, I can never find it either.
oh, I thought it was over here hiding.
Or view?
Here it is. Right there, it's hiding.
Beautiful.
I put a photo because I didn't know if we'd have our cameras on or not. So I grew up in Nicollet. It's less than 1,000 people. The town is about 1 mile by 5 miles, so it's really small. Under one school, we have our daycare, our elementary or preschool or high school. All of it's in one building, including our community center, because our school couldn't afford to build a gym. So we built it for the community. We use it for our gym class and stuff. We do like trap shooting and hunting and livestock and a lot of farming. We have 2 bars in the town. We have like the family bar and then kind of like the adult bar. And then we have a family owned meat market where I worked for 2.5 years. We have a gas station and then a lot of farmland and a bank. So there's really not a lot in our town. And then that's a photo of our meat market. That's what attracts a lot of people to come to Nicollet. In the right bottom hand corner, that's the owner. It's always stayed in the family, so it's 3rd generation. They've been open now for almost 100 years. And then in the middle, that is Julius. He's one of our meat cutters. And so the farmers will bring in the animals and we'll go ahead and put them down in the back and then skin them, freeze them, and hang them and cut them. And then in the left bottom hand, that's kind of just what our produce looks like. And then we have a smokehouse. We do everything in house. And then on the bottom hand right, that's what a lot of our farmland looks like. Everybody kind of lives out on a farm. On the left hand side, that's our home that we grew up in. And so just for like price comparison, that home is worth about, I would say about 250,000. So since you were saying like, you know, like your standalone homes are worth a lot, that's what ours is. And that's like a pretty like snazzy house for Nicollet. So, and then on the upper picture, that's our school. So it goes from daycare on the left-hand side all the way to high school on the right-hand side. The bottom right, that's our one and only gas station. And then where I live now, I live in Mankato. So on the upper photo, that's a picture of downtown Mankato. It has 42,000 people. So my family believes I live in the city, but it's not really the city. And then on the bottom right, that is MSU. That is our university. And so I moved about 15 minutes away so that I could go to college. And then this is where I live now. I live in a duplex. So it's a standalone house. Above me are my landlords. They're in their 50s. They don't have, all their kids have went to college or have started their careers. So I'm a basement dweller. I live in their basement for $650 a month. And that includes everything. And I have 2 bedrooms, but yeah. And it's right by school. So I'm like a mile away. And then these are my siblings. So my brother is on the left. My stepsister is on the right. And then my stepbrother is behind her. And then these are my parents. The one photo at the mountains, they went to Banff for one of their anniversaries. And then on the other photo, that's when we went to Arizona for one of our family vacations. So me and my brother are on the left. And then my stepmom and my dad are kind of in the middle. And then it's my stepsister, my stepbrother, and then my sister-in-law, Courtney. And then my grandparents, they're like my second parents. I'm really close to them. So that was my grandpa's birthday. They came into the restaurant I worked at and grandma had a drink. So they were all lovey-dovey. And then we went for ice cream because they wanted to tour the college the first year when I was there. And then they came to my prom on the right-hand photo. And my fiance, we're high school sweethearts, and he's actually active duty in the Marine Corps. So he's in California. And so we've been long distance for almost 4 years. And then my hobbies and sports, I like to exercise. High intensity interval training, which also is known as HIIT, is one of my favorite things to do. And so in the middle, that's just like a example. So you do an exercise for like a minute, have a 15-second break, and then repeat it. And so it gets your heart rate up. And so you burn more calories in a shorter amount of time. So you don't have a lot of time. And then I also like to watch Netflix or Hulu. I like to sleep, lay out in the sun, like to travel, and I enjoy shopping. And then international experiences. In high school, we had foreign exchange students. Hannah Marie was in my grade. She was from Finland. She was like my best friend. And then her and my brother fell in love. Morel, she was from the Netherlands. I think she was 2 or 3 years older than me. And then Yarni, she was from Australia. And I think she was like, honestly, like 5 or 6 years older than me. And then we also have a college, Gustavus Adolphus College, which is about 2 miles away from my church in St. Peter. And so we met a lot of international students from there, and my brother and I would go and like pick them up and bring them to church. And then Benisa would actually stay with my grandparents over Thanksgiving break because the college would shut down and our host family wouldn't let her stay with them for some reason. So for like 4 years, she would stay with my grandparents during that week. Yeah, and then I have a friend Davey here from MSU, and he's from Cape Town, South Africa, but now he moved to New York. And then I chose nursing because my grandma was an LPN for 46 years. I became a CNA at 17 and I enjoyed it. And so that's why I was like, yep, I should definitely do nursing because I got some experience in. I like to care for people and learn about their story along the way. And then I find it rewarding. So yeah, so I chose nursing. Oh, extra knowledge. Sometimes I get a little grumpy. If I get grumpy, be like, hey, because I get kind of pressed and I'm like due dates and I get stressed out. I'm very organized and I like to plan ahead. I do work about 30 to 40 hours a week. And so my job isn't that flexible. With the pandemic, we had a lot of my coworkers quit. And so we're down to like 3 servers and one of them can only work once a week and the other one is like once or twice. So I work almost every day and I don't really have staff to like pick up my shifts. So it's kind of hard for me to reschedule. But we're currently closed on Sundays and in the mornings. So I'm normally free during those times, which is evening for you guys. That's about it. Do you have any questions?
I mean, is it doable with like your job and nursing, or is it like very busy?
Well, they told me that, you know, you shouldn't really work that much or you just shouldn't work at all, blah, blah, blah. But here I am always working 30, 40 hours a week and doing school. There's a will, there's a way. You don't sleep a lot, but school here is kind of expensive. Life in general is pretty expensive over here and you don't get a lot of assistance. And so.
Yeah, we
for us.
college is like really expensive in America, right?
So here for school, I think it's about, I'd say it's about 20 or not 2,400. I wish. It's about, I would say like a little over 10 grand a year for tuition. And then if you want to live in the dorms, what is dorms, Jess? Like another 8 grand a year?
Yeah, 7 or 8, I think.
And then you have to also pay for a meal plan. So you're looking at like probably like 20, 25 grand a year.
Wow.
And then apartments here, if you live with like 3 or 4 other students, it's probably around $500 a month plus utilities, so about $600. And if you live by yourself, probably about $900. I just found this on Craigslist and got really lucky, but.
I live alone and I pay $800 a month.
Yeah, so for me to have a 2-bedroom, everything included, off-street parking, close to the college for $650 is like not normal.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really expensive. And then they always offer you loans, but the interest rate is high. And we're like notorious for having people take out loans. Like my uncle, I think he had like 40 grand in debt when he graduated and he's 52 and he just paid it off. But with all the interest, he actually ended up paying like 85 grand instead. So he pretty much paid back his loans twice because of the interest rate.
My goodness. My boyfriend is 25 and he still has, I think, 14 grand in loans, and he works as an engineer, so he has a really good paying job. So it's hard to pay off loans here.
Yeah, we don't really have that problem. I mean, I think our first year is like 1,500 and the rest of the 3 years are like 2 grand, I think. 2,000, yeah. So
Over there.
I mean, the apartments are very expensive and very like limited, but
Yeah.
yeah, the Netherlands is pretty small, so you just stay as long with your parents as possible, and then you're good.
Do you
But
live
if-
with your parents, Luca?
What did you say?
Do you live with your parents?
Yeah.
If you work though, like what's your minimum wage out over there? Like what's the least amount they have to pay you?
I mean, it goes by age, but I think for me it's like I think 6. I don't know. Do you know, Jonas?
Yeah, around €6, which is almost the same as dollars, I think. But it also depends on what job you get. Yeah, but I don't really have to work. I live with my parents. I do work, but just for fun stuff, not really for anything. I really, it's for necessities. I don't really have to pay for them right now. So yeah, and also I think that a plan has been introduced like this week for everything like the tuition to be 50% less, right, Luca?
Yeah, next year is like 50% less for
Yeah.
us
But did they
because
want?
of Corona and the online school. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is it paid by taxes then? Or how is
No.
it so low?
Yeah, we just pay the
Yeah,
full
but yeah.
price. Yeah.
Are your professors really poor then?
No,
No.
They're doing pretty well. Yeah.
it's not the best paid job. It's not. They are not poor.
Mm.
Not-
That's crazy.
No.
Does everybody kind of go to college or like continue their education over there? Because that
Well,
kind of, you know?
well, there's like. I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question? I couldn't really.
I was just wondering, like over there, is it pretty common that you go to college, or is it kind of like how like
Are there people that like work at cafes their entire life or
No, not really. Except for if you like own the business, you work in a cafe for like your whole life. But like all the like people work in a supermarket are all like teenagers, and like the higher the teen
management?
leaders, I don't really know the word for it, but those are like older people, but they also went to school to learn about all the things, and they do get paid way more than just the workers, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a lot of schools like in different levels. So if you had like school in like the lowest level, you can still go to college, and most people do, and just get their own business or everything or anything, but still like follow everything.
Yeah. So um, in like preschool, which goes from 4 to 13, they look at how good you are at learning, and they choose a level in high school you're gonna do. So we've got like VMBO, which means like VMBO, MAVO, HAVO, VWO, Atheneum, which are the same actually. And yeah, so you go to one of those levels, and you get different kinds of schooling. Like practical things are more like if you are not that good at learning, but you get more the practical things, and you also get to choose like if you'd like to be in car repairing or stuff like that. You also get some of that, and they look at what you're good at, and the like the highest levels they get like higher math and stuff like that. But you can always just try to work your way up to like a higher level, or after you're done you can do 2 years of that. 2 years you can take 2 years of school and get to the higher level and stuff like that. So yeah, but it's pretty common for you to choose a college education here. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy because over here it's like a lot of people don't even make it through high school, you know? And so over there it seems like it's cheaper and that like furthering your education is essential versus here it's like a privilege.
Yeah, you're actually not allowed to drop out of high school in the Netherlands. It's in our, um, it's a right you have to have an education.
Like your
on,
constitution.
yeah, I don't really know now. Until you're 18, you
Yeah,
got
to a certain, yeah.
leerplicht, which means that you have to stay in school till you're 18, and then they just let you go, but you can't really drop out at 16 or 17. Yeah.
Yeah, ours are 16. You can drop it like a hot tamale.
I mean, if you have a school, like if college is that expensive, I can imagine people dropping out in high school, just not choosing for college. I mean, if it's that hard and just that much money to pay, it's understandable.
Yeah, our high school is free. That's paid with tax dollars. So up until you're schooling of 18. And we have something that's called PSEO where if you get good grades and then if you like score so high on certain tests that you can go to college early for free, or we even have it where you can take college classes in your high school and they'll offer different ones. And so like our school offered both and I actually like kind of like dropped out of high school and went to college early. And then that was paid for because instead of my tax dollars going to the high school, it went to the college. But not a lot of high schools, like they all offer it, but they don't all necessarily talk about it because then the high school doesn't get the money, the college does. So they kind of like discourage us from doing it. But that's what I did my senior year. So yeah, they'll help you out until you're 18 and then you're kind of like, well, I have our working agreement. You guys got it, right?
Yeah, I think I can.
I'm gonna share my screen.
Yeah.
You can go over that quick. So Jess and I worked on it a little. So our primary way of communicating, I'm guessing, is gonna be the Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if people aren't responding, we can always use our school emails. Okay, and then what do we want to do for turnaround communication? Like how fast do we expect each other to be responding?
Yeah. What would you guys like? What were you thinking of? Luca, do you have any idea?
I mean,
24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, I think that's
definitely 24. I'm not taking longer than that. Yeah.
24. Okay.
Yeah, not a big deal if it's like that much later, but yeah,
Okay.
21st. Yeah.
We should agree that at least 24 hours per group. Because per se, like if you guys message something and Jess responds, Jess and I communicate, and I feel like you two communicate. So like if I say something and one of you respond, I don't think necessarily the other person also has to respond. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we were like, Luca getting this too. Like I feel like you two are close enough and her and I are close enough that we can like, that not all four of us have to respond. Do we agree on that?
Yeah, that's
sure.
Okay, how about weekends and holidays? Do we need to be responding on those times?
I mean, we do have holiday right now, but I'm still working on school, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
24 hours, regardless of the day?
Yeah. If everyone is okay with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. This
Because
one,
you're gonna almost never work during the week or only on Sundays or something like that, you said?
yeah, so Sundays I'm off and then I normally work Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then Tuesday, Wednesdays, we have our internship / clinical.
Okay. Yeah.
And
My work varies, so I can't be helpful saying days. I'm also a waitress, but I'm not I'm not working half as much as Taylor.
Yeah.
We have 10 minutes left. We can finish it.
We'll need to, so not all 4 people need to respond. So when do we want to meet for part 3?
Yeah. So yeah, when is part 3 due? Oh, part 3 was due like a week ago, you said.
No, our part 1 was, because we have different times. So
Mhm.
are you guys still free a little bit after this or no?
Well, my dad is preparing dinner right now. It's almost ready. So, well, I can if um everyone wants to, then I'll go after this. Yeah.
Okay, because Jess and I were even thinking, what if, I don't know if Luca's necessarily ready to like, just because all we gotta do is just talk about our crisis. Jess and I would be ready to, so at least we could get like half of part 3 done,
Yeah.
maybe even to the topic. So then next time that we meet, we can finish part 3 and then present our research for part 4. I don't know, like, do you feel ready to talk about your crisis, Luca, or no?
I mean, yeah, but do we have to like really write it down or just talk about it in general?
I'm not writing it down. I was ready to just talk about it. You
Yeah,
did?
Okay.
my plan too.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
I don't know if Jonas, if you're like ready to necessarily talk about, I don't know if you wanted to do your coronavirus or what you wanted to do for your part 3. Otherwise, you can definitely wait until next meeting.
We can
Yeah.
also do 3, 4, and 5 as a part of next meeting, or 3 and 4 at least, I think.
Mhm. Yeah. Would that be possible?
Okay, so I'll just put part 3, part of it right after this.
Mm-hmm.
When is our next time that we can meet?
Um,
Well, I'm free next Sunday.
Next Sunday?
Yeah.
yeah, same for me.
Same for
I
you?
don't have the time that I work yet on that day, but I will text a coworker really quick.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
like tomorrow night, what are you guys doing?
tomorrow night, nothing really.
No, I'm free tomorrow night, I think. Yeah.
Yes, what are you doing
Tomorrow.
tomorrow?
Yeah, we can do that.
Do you want to meet tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Would you be okay with finishing presenting your part 3 tomorrow, Jonas?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll write down 5 to 11. Is this time good for you guys? 6, or did you want to do 5? What time do you guys want to do your time?
6 is
Uh,
okay for me.
Yeah, 6 okay. Yeah.
So 11 a.m. US, 6 p.m. Netherlands. And then part 4 is a little bit of research of just like the part on ours. No.
We could do that next Sunday then.
I'll write down 5:22 because we can still talk about it. I'm not sure if we'll necessarily finish our research by then, but we can just look into it.
Yeah.
Then does next Sunday work?
Yeah, it works for me. Yeah.
So I'll put next Sunday. Oh no, it's not.
I think it works for me. I'm not sure yet, but we'll keep contact via messenger and
Okay, I'll just put down 2, or no, why? Okay, so tomorrow's the 22nd. And I'll also put down next Sunday.
It's the 28th, I think.
Yeah, I'm like over here struggling. Time to be determined. And then I think by then we would have enough of our research, because I'm thinking as we research, Jess shared that other PowerPoint that we could be able to put together our PowerPoint for part 5, so we could be able to do part 4 and part 5 together. Does that sound good to you too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A week like turnaround time makes sense for you too, or no?
Wait, what? What did you say?
So, like we would talk about our crisis
Mhm.
today and tomorrow, maybe do a little bit of research. And then by next week, we would have our little bit of research done and our PowerPoint. Does that seem like realistic for you two? I don't know what your school schedule looks like.
Yeah, we're actually on vacation. We do have vacation, so we're free this whole week.
Okay, so that works for you?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want it to be like too much at once for you two.
Yeah, yeah.
Time to be determined. Thinking 11 a.m. USA. Okay, so if we have a problem, how are we gonna address it?
Face to face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like to America and no.
Facebook
Yeah.
Messenger.
Yeah, yeah.
Until we can Zoom. I don't really care to chew either of you out. I think that we should kind of like monitor the other one. So like I'll more monitor Jess, you more monitor Luca.
Jonas. Yeah.
I'll keep it.
I'll be the monitor. I'll be the monitor.
And if we have a problem, we'll just shoot it the other way. Be like, hey, I don't think Jonas is like responding, and then Luca can just like hop his case because I don't care to really hop his case.
Yeah.
And then we have to have a little e-signature right down here. So if everybody just wants to log on real quick to that document, everybody can just type their name. Let's type our name and date it. Let's make it real official that we all agree.
Beautiful. So Taylor will finish that up and then we'll send you our professor the document.
Yeah.
You guys have access to it.
Okay.
And then
We're just
we
gonna
can
hop
put another meeting and talk about our crises quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Goodbye.